Hey, I'm Kyle Stringham, founder of PURTREK, Trek Pole Water Filtration. This is a third maintenance video that we're gonna do. And this is really to show you if you needed to disassemble PURTREK. We have refined this system over years and really made it very quick and efficient to do any kind of maintenance, even on the trail if needed. So, if you would like to disassemble the filtration system for PURTREK, first, you're going to start by removing the handle. To do that, counterclockwise, cap comes off. Next, you're going to pull out your filter. Now you have this piece, okay? So you're going to go ahead and grab where you see these two screws, and then you're gonna grab this blue area, and you're gonna turn. Again, counterclockwise. That's going to unscrew and bring this open. I would leave these screws right where they're at. We mount those at the factory in a very specific spot so that you can have optimal function for the system. Now, what is on here is there is a lock nut, if you can see that, and there's two flat edges on both sides of this lock nut. So all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use just a tiny bit of pressure. Again, this is plastic, so you don't wanna put too much on here, and you're just gonna break it loose. So when I'm going right off, I've got it backwards, so but righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. Now I just hold it, and I'm spinning this top. And I am unscrewing the lock nut off of what is our pump shaft. All right. So you can see what I've done now is I've exposed your first valve for PURTREK. This is why we have such a robust, a really powerful filtration system, because we have these one-way valves located. Now, on here, you'll see that there's two gaskets. Those ride inside of your pump shaft to keep your pumping nice and easy. If the pumping ever got hard, you could disassemble this, put a tiny bit of your food grade silicone lube onto here, and that'll help with the pumping action. But you can go ahead and check the valve right here. If this was plugged with any kind of media, you can carefully pull the valve out, clean this in the water, even put some water through the end of this out that side. Say there was a little pebble. I've never seen that happen. It couldn't make it past the others, but plan for the unexpected. So with that, you'd simply just poke it out of there and you'd be good to go. So this is your first. And then we're going to come back to this system. Now all I'm doing is that I'm unscrewing it like I want to pump it, and you're gonna slowly bring it out carefully. And then you've pulled out your lower housing. Now this piece right here is thermal welded inside of here, so it seals nicely, but that is your pump shaft. And then you've got the pump sleeve. There are some little gaskets inside of here, but the real important thing that I want you to make sure is there's a gasket on the bottom of this that could fall out on the ground. Just be sure to not lose that, because that's what pads your lock nut during your pumping action, okay? It's not gonna kill it if it does it, it's just gonna click. So anyways, we're gonna come back here to the lower housing, and this is when you use the PURTREK tool. This is a castle nut shaft. And we designed this so that if you ever have to replace the valve bed that sits in the bottom of this housing, you simply take your tube, you're going to insert it in there, and you're gonna kind of feel it. You'll turn it and it'll lock in place. Now you're gonna go counterclockwise, right? Just like you normally would. I like to turn it upside down. This is exactly how we would perform maintenance on these if you sent your poles in. So it's really easy to do at home. So this is your filter bed. And you can see the valve located right here. There's only two valves inside of PURTREK. Those two can be replaced, I'd say after 2-3 years of use. You might want to get a new gasket set. You'll notice if they're starting getting hard, it's all how much you use the product. These could last for good. So what we're gonna do now is we'll say that we've gone ahead and replaced these valves. And I'm gonna go ahead and just replace this into the system. So this is your valve bed. And there's small threads on both of these. Again, the worst thing you could do when disassembling this is cross thread these items. So you just want to feel it. Make sure you're not applying too much pressure. Screw it back up in there. And then once you get it there, you just want to seat it enough to where it's there. Doesn't take a lot to tighten them. All right, so you've got that in. Now we're just going to do a quick reassembly. Go ahead and put it in here again slowly. Don't want to force things. You are pushing past some gaskets. One of the tricks I use is I kind of put it in here and I turn and it'll kind of push past. There's that tiny little gasket that I talked about up here. So I'm going to put this back in place. And then you're just going to take your lower, pull, put that in here. And again, you're just going to fill those threads, thread it back on there. There's quite a bit of threads on there. We did that because every additional thread gives us more seal. And then you're just going to give it a little bit of a tighten. And then from there, you're just going to take this piece, put it back on, and turn that on. That's it. You have just disassembled your PURTREK pole. You know you did it right when it does that. So anyways, you guys, these poles, all of the parts that we built with them, they're extremely rigid and durable. We've really made this a quality platform. It's designed for you to get out on the trail and have a really great time. So please communicate with us. We love our community, love hearing from you. So if there's ever any issues, suggestions, even innovation that you think would help us, we would be honored to hear from you. So thanks so much, and we'll hope to see you really soon on the trail.